Catastrophic fire ban day. A fire started about 22 k's north of here at Streatham. It happened very, very quickly.
We were ready the night before. We had everything packed and ready to go. I do really count myself lucky that my livelihood hasn't been affected. I know a lot of the farmers there, they've lost their entire crop or their hay sheds, machinery. I can't imagine how that feels for those guys.
On January 9th, 2026, communities living across 4 Western District local government areas realised their worst nightmare. Here in the Caranballac Skipton region in southwest Victoria, houses were lost, sheds destroyed, swallowing all in its path, to the point where it was one of the most brutal in recent memory.
Being a catastrophic fire day, I was actually inside. We were banned from the paddocks. I was in the office when the call came through. I heard it on the radio, calling for raised dust and possible smoke sighting at Streatham. Response 1, straight to the fire trucks. I was here within 5 minutes, had a crew together of 3 of us, and we were out the door.
Despite the best efforts from CFA volunteers and farm units, there were significant property losses. Zach Harbour lost his home in Caranballac and has been left thankful for a fire plan, which he credits with saving his family. He believes that nothing would have stopped that fire, propelled by brutal winds on a catastrophic day.
It's been pretty horrific here, just to see 5 years worth of work burn up in half an hour, but yeah, we got out uninjured. We were ready to evacuate, so yeah, thankful that we had taken the steps we had taken. There's always more you could do when you're driving away. You think, could have done this, could have done that, but nothing much could have saved this place the way that fire come through with those winds. I think everyone who saw it firsthand it was unstoppable.
Now, a month later, the region is in recovery mode, and the work to rebuild the damage caused by the fires has begun. The Skipton Bowls and Golf Club has been turned into a BlazeAid camp. Fairways have been turned into campsites, and the club rooms a nerve centre. Chris Mail is coordinating the recovery efforts, and in a matter of weeks, BlazeAid volunteers have begun working on 11 properties and have completed work on 4 of them.
The golf club's the nerve centre, isn't it? We've built a village here. We've had fantastic support from Skipton community and particularly Skipton Golf Club. And the fantastic work we're doing here is that we've cleared almost 150 kilometres of broken, burnt, damaged fences, and we've started rebuilding. The farmers are slowly ready to turn the wheel and start to rebuild once we've cleared the mess. And I'm extremely proud and pleased with what we've achieved so far.
BlazeAid's Skipton camp opened on January 19th, and more than 25 properties have registered for assistance so far. Up to 70 volunteers have been working on either the fire ground or here at the Skipton Golf and Bowls Club, ensuring those volunteers are well looked after. Each works 7-hour days, either on the fire ground making repairs, while others help in the kitchen at base, maintaining tools or performing other logistical tasks, but according to Chris, they need plenty more help.
Well, we need people to help us in the kitchen, we need people to help us clean, maintain our trailers, look after our tools, just do errands for us and shopping. We've got keen, agile, fit, unfit, struggling volunteers. So volunteers come in all shapes and sizes, and we could not be prouder and happier with them.
So far in the first month, volunteers have cleared more than 147 kilometres of damaged fencing and built 15.5 kilometres of new structure. As word spreads that a BlazeAid camp has been launched at Skipton, volunteers, affectionately known as BlazeAiders, are moving onto the grounds. Aside from tents and caravans, swift shelters are also in place for volunteers like backpackers who choose to spend some time during their visit to the country as a volunteer.
We don't want anybody to be unable to attend because they haven't got accommodation. We want to be inclusive. We've got some tents that were donated last week and people can stay in them. So we try and accommodate everybody. I don't want anyone to say I'd love to help, but I can't.
Mick Hassel is a long-serving BlazeAider and was tasked with establishing the Skipton camp. While Mick has been on a number of missions and helped with building on firegrounds before, this is the first time he had been at the forefront of creating the camp. And as he now knows, there is plenty of work that goes into it before the volunteers even arrive.
The early stages made it a little bit difficult because so many people come in thinking it's a normal caravan park, and the logistics of electricity and water and all that sort of stuff has been a bit of a challenge. Thankfully, Isuzu donated a generator for us to generate power for the campers, and we have that now set up so it automatically comes on time at 6 o'clock every night and goes off at 9:30. And then also BlazeAid purchased about a $3,000 distribution board so we can get the power to people.
But part of establishing the camp goes beyond just people. It involves ensuring there are enough tools and trailers. Conducting inventories, stock takes and maintenance are also parts of preparing a BlazeAid camp.
Because we have trailers that go out to every site that has everything that they should need for it, and making sure they're all up to date took a couple of days, and do inventories and stock shakes and all them, and then maintenance, because everything falls apart. So, you know, so that, some of those things, because luckily I've had 30 years in military logistics, so I sort of know how everything works, and I'm just a general handyman, so I try to do what I can based on the limited knowledge I have. I don't have any qualifications other than been there, done that.
A common misconception about the work BlazeAid does is that volunteer teams only rebuild fences. Not true. As Mick explains, BlazeAid does more than meets the eye. If a fire has destroyed something, BlazeAid can fix or rebuild it.
Whether it's putting up a clothesline, which we're going to do for a lady, fix up a chook pen, or do the fencing, you know, either pulling it down or rolling, putting them up, because some farmers have decided that they're going to crop, so they just need a boundary fence, not internal fences.
The BlazeAid camp here at the Skipton Golf Club has only been operational for a matter of weeks, but has already attracted a solid drove of volunteers. It's believed that more than 1,000 kilometres of fencing, spanning over more than 4 municipalities in Western Victoria, will need to be replaced. The operation's expected to last more than 12 months, which is one of BlazeAid's largest in its history. But they need help. Help on the tools, help behind the scenes, help anywhere possible to make sure this operation goes as smoothly as it can, regardless of how long. At the weekend, the Skipton camp was visited by CEO Melissa Jones and founder Kevin Butler. Despite being well versed in the support BlazeAid receives, both admit that the Skipton community has been incredible. Everything from individual donations of washing machines, local businesses supplying groceries, to farmers arriving with more than $1,500 worth of food supplies, among the many examples.
Oh, isn't it wonderful? I mean, walking in there's a full room of wonderful volunteers and farmers alike who have come in to celebrate what we're doing and to say thanks to these wonderful people who give up their time and come and help them rebuild. We had 70 volunteers in the other day, which is just fantastic, and it goes to show that I think people particularly in the district around here, appreciate the boots on the ground that BlazeAid brings, and we've got wonderful coordinators and great cooks who come in and feed the volunteers.
Among the volunteers are caterers from places like Cheltenham on Melbourne's outskirts. One of the most important mantras of BlazeAid is borrowed from Napoleon, with the saying, "An army marches on its stomach." And according to BlazeAid founder Kevin Butler, providing food for the team of volunteers is one of the organisation's most important aspects.
Culture of BlazeAid in feeding our volunteers really well has stayed right, and we're very proud of that for the 16 years. So although you might work very hard on the fence lines and be exhausted, you won't lose weight in BlazeAid. You should, but you won't, because these wonderful cooks and others who, you know, the toilet fairies who do all the cleaning,
But even people that maintain tools, Kevin, like, you know, people that come and make sure the tools are out there and
sharpen
sharpen,
chainsaws,
like little things like that, you know.
Yeah.
People that can come and donate some pizzas or buy, you know, they work 7 hours a day on these volunteers, and there's so many of them, and I think the average age is 60 or something,
Yeah,
which is amazing.
65. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where when we get into our mid-60s, and I know you are very young, good on you.
Almost there.
But you think we are in such a fantastic country, and you feel when you retire, you say, gee, I've had, you know, my parents, the village brought me up. We had tennis courts. We went, you know, had good education. You say, gee, we may have paid our taxes, but you feel, gee, isn't it great to give?
BlazeAid was founded by Kevin and his wife Rhonda after the Black Saturday bushfires. As a sheep farmer himself, Kevin knows the impact natural disasters have on rural communities.
We've been burnt out 3 times. I know how recovery is so important, because on the first 2 occasions there was no help, but on the 3rd occasion was Black Saturday. There was the anniversary yesterday. When 172 people died and 2,000 homes were burnt, and our property was burnt just a little bit, and that's how BlazeAid all started. But there were thousands of kilometres of fencing down and people who needed the support and help, and that's how BlazeAid began. So coming into a rural community here like Skipton, I mean, I feel this is God's country. I love it, but my heart breaks when I see the burnt country and the fences that are down, and the stories of the sheep that had to be pitted, because I've got sheep myself, and we all love them dearly. We're softies at heart, and we know that the fire was unstoppable, and the fire was outpacing the fire tankers by a long way, and the air wing couldn't get up because of the day. So we were, they were flotsam and jetsam here. They were just the victims.
During the height of the Black Saturday disaster, Kevin and Rhonda open up their own wool shed to their community to create a community hub, while heading out and helping property owners rebuild.
There was no model for BlazeAid before, so Rhonda and I invented it, and our policy was to treat everyone the way we would like to be treated if we were a volunteer. So in our wool shed, anyone who came along, we'd say, hello, I'm Kevin, where are you from? Have you come a long way? And we'd it was almost like a commune, Anyway, that sort of ideology of treating people the way you'd like to be treated, and the friendship and the camaraderie is spread like a virus through all BlazeAid camps in Australia.
According to Kevin, the recovery from a major bushfire can take months or even years. But while the physical recovery is one thing, the mental toll a bushfire disaster has on those affected never leaves. And that's why BlazeAid never puts a time frame on how long it will remain in a community.
And the hurt is still palpitating. Like my hurt was palpitating when I lost, not a lot, but a bit. But and even when you see, clouds in the sky, and you say, are they smoke clouds? And you think, is today going to be a day like, January the 9th? We've got to have the farm fire unit ready to go, and it stays with you. You never forget the traumas of the day.
It's those sentiments that flow right through the organisation, and spending time at the Skipton camp, it was easy to leave feeling that the community is in great hands.
We'll stay until the job's done to the farmer's satisfaction.
Get very emotional about it because I've seen the effect of what they go through. I can never sit in their boots, but I can hopefully emphasise with them that, or emphasise to them that we are here to do whatever they need to help them get back into a routine.
You could sit at home and watch what's happening, the destruction and the rebuild on TV, or you could come along and give us a hand and have your boots on the ground with your gloves on and rebuild some fences. And it's really simple stuff. My kids come and help sometimes, so anyone can do it, and it feels really good to give back to people who really need it.
To volunteer on the fire grounds around the Skipton region or anywhere else BlazeAid has set up camp, simply visit their website or visit the camps directly.
We've got a big job in front of us, but it's not insurmountable. and we will just slowly make our way through it. We've got dedicated teams that are working in the Meredith area, so almost as a satellite camp. So we're trying to set up that we can get to as many people as quickly as possible.